So how
Yeah.
did you get associated with this project?
With Widow's Point.
Yeah.
So I am originally a Buffalo native. I currently live in Atlanta. While I was filming the movie, I lived in Ohio. So I had kind of been looking into different directors in the area, and Greg was the one that I found that I was most interested in working with, partially because I really enjoy doing horror movies, and Johnny Gruesome looked amazing. Um, so I kind of found him. I guess I was kind of searching a little and like joining different groups and everything like that. And he had posted the audition, and I went through the audition process with him, but I had known who he was. So I was obviously very excited to audition for him.
So that's kind of the great thing about indie movies is you don't really have to go through the standard process. You can kind of just seek out what you want. Um,
Yeah.
when you did meet up with him, how did that go?
We had phone conversations first before I got on set, just because I was in Ohio at the time and
Mhm.
he was in Buffalo. So I had had a couple phone conversations with him about the script and what to expect and everything. Greg is a very, very thorough director, which I really appreciated. We got along really well. I like his style of directing. He knows exactly what he wants, which is really nice. Any question that I had, he had an answer for, which I really appreciated. So I mean, it was honestly, it was all around a really amazing experience. Working on Widow's Point was probably one of my favorite experiences that I've had so far.
What about it made it your favorite? Was it the location, or the director, or the story, or what?
It was kind of a few different things. The location was, I mean, we were shooting at an old lighthouse. It was just a cool location to be at. Greg was obviously amazing. Working with Craig was also incredible. He's such an encouraging individual. He was so kind. He really showed up. Like, he's obviously worked on tons of different things, but he really showed up as an actor and was just very supportive of everybody. Super nice. He was great to play off of. He's honestly probably one of my favorite actors that I've ever worked with, just because he was so much fun to work with. But the crew in general was also really incredible. Everybody knew exactly what they were doing. Everybody was on point. Everybody was super nice. So, and it was kind of it was neat being able to shoot something near where I grew up, because I don't get that opportunity very often.
You grew up in Buffalo. That's what you said, right?
I grew up, yeah, I grew up out near Buffalo. I grew up in a very small town called Boston, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was neat filming out there, and going to set every day from my parents' house and for them to be like, "Oh my God, she's my kid's making a movie." It was just kind of cool.
My wife's from Ithaca.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah, so talking about another place that never gets anything filmed, even though it should, because it has such a diverse landscape. You have the hills up in Danby, and then closer to Ithaca College, it's just like it's totally different. So you think like more people would take advantage of these like sleepy little locations, but um, you know how the business
Yeah,
is. It just
I know.
if it's not in a major
It's such a pretty
location.
area. Yeah, I know. People have no idea though. It's so pretty out there. I know it's the middle of nowhere, but it's so pretty.
Uh, when you were filming at the lighthouse, I know there had to be certain restrictions that were put on the cast and crew since it is a historical landmark. Uh, what were some of the more difficult aspects of filming in that location?
Um, I mean, I don't know if that ever really affected me, if I'm being honest. Um, so we shot at two different locations for the lighthouse. All of the interior was shot at the exterior was shot at the lighthouse. Um, Anything with Craig in the staircase, that was also shot at the lighthouse, but they had another location for all the interior shots. And the house was crazy. It was so weird. Like the lighthouse was really cool, but this house was also really cool. It was just really old. Um, but it fit perfectly. We didn't really have a lot of restrictions when we were at that house, though. When we were at the lighthouse, I feel like, I mean, it was neat because like you got to, like, we were basically getting like a free tour of this place. Everything was pretty open. We had hair and makeup in one of the rooms in the old house part of the lighthouse. So they had all sorts of different, like historical, what's the word for those, like little items that I don't even know what the term would be. Artifacts, I guess. They had like artifacts and stuff like that. And like different historical information. So that was kind of cool. But I don't feel like we were really restricted. At least I didn't feel like that. The crew might have felt like that. I'm sure they did. But I never felt like I was restricted.
Shooting on location in those sort of actually well-worn atmospheric places, does that help you as an actor to get into the headspace you need to better than being on an actual built set?
Yeah, I think so. It's more authentic, you know. Having a whole entire like house to play with or something like that. It's just real, you know. It's a real environment. You're not. I mean, I guess you're always a little bit worried that you're going to move something and it's going to be out of place or something like that. But it's just more real, and it obviously feels more real than something that's just being built for you.
Was there any weird happenings on in either of those locations that gave you that gave you a little bit of a spook?
I don't think when I was on set, Greg's daughter had been doing some things. She had been, because the people that own it now, they said that it was haunted. And I fully believe that. But she had been talking to some ghosts. She was like playing a game with them the whole time. It was really interesting, honestly. But I didn't experience anything firsthand, but she might have.
What was your favorite scene to film? There, for people that haven't seen it, there's a lot of jumping around in time and space. So, but out of all your scenes, what was your favorite to film?
I actually have two different scenes that I really enjoyed filming. There is a scene when my character is first introduced with Craig's character, and right off the bat, it just really shows our relationship. And I really liked that banter with him. We improv'd a little bit, which was kind of fun. So I really enjoyed that. It was my first experience working with him as well. That was the first time that that scene was the first time I had done something with him. And I had been very excited to work with him because I had seen his work prior. And I think he's very, very talented. So obviously I was stoked. But I really enjoyed doing that scene. And then there's a scene later in the movie with Dominic and I, and I start, he doesn't necessarily believe, but I start noticing things. And I enjoyed doing that scene as well for a lot of the same reason. Like, banter with Dominic was incredible. He's so much fun to work off of.
When you have a banter or a repertoire going on between you and another actor, do you find that you seem to ad lib more lines that kind of stay in, or was it very strict to the script?
We stuck to the script a lot. I feel like there was a line ad libbed here and there, but for the most part, we all just stuck to the script.
And the most important question to wrap this up is, when and where are people going to be able to see this film, since everything's kind of up in the air right now with theaters and everything?
It's going to be available on Amazon as of September 1st.
All right. What about Google Play and Apple TV and all those? It will be available there as well?
I believe so, but I don't know if there's a release date as of right now. It all might be available on September 1st, but I know for sure Amazon on September 1st.